Greetings, Captain. I am Aura, your AI companion. I am here to help you find your way through New Eden. Welcome to the first day of your new life as a Capsuleer. I am now transferring your pod into a ship, provided by air, as part of your Captain, an unidentified communicator. Vectoring escape route. Evacuation sequence initiated. Station hull integrity compromised.
Hello and welcome back to this new video. This is the first video of the Alpha Guide to PvP series, and I'm going to talk about mainly the UI setup and the Neocom menu. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about what's needed, what's important to have, and a bit of a look through all the settings that you should activate or deactivate and all that stuff. In the next video I'm going to talk about skill plans, and I also have future plans for videos on fitting, and then finally a few videos where I will actually check if I can get a kill as a brand new alpha character with not many skills. So that's my plans for the future. I'd say we get in the video soon, but before we jump in, I wanted to announce a giveaway that I'm doing for new players specifically. So for all characters that are younger than 60 days, so 2 months, and I will give away free tier 1 frigates with T2 fits. So if you just started, get a ship from me that you can work towards, because usually at the start you can't fly the T2 modules yet, but then you have a goal where to skill to, and in every ship there will also be a skin for that ship. So to participate in the giveaway, the only rule is that your character cannot be older than 60 days, and you can just send an in-game mail to the character Frigates on Fire, and once I get the mail I will buy the ship and send it over to you. If you have a preference which ship you would like to have, you can also put that in the mail. So if you like an Atron, you can tell me I prefer an Atron or like that. And yeah, every frigate should be around 10 million ISK with a skin. It's not big, it's not that much, but it is what I can afford, and it is a little something for each new player. And of course you could abuse that now by creating 15 new characters, but I hope that people would leave the ships that I can give away to the newer players and not cheat like that to get lots of T1 frigates. So yeah, that's all. I think we should jump right into the video. Have fun! Okay, here we are, docked in the air station right after the tutorial. And what we're going to start with is just take a look at the standard settings that you have from the start. So you can open that by going to the Neocom menu, go to settings, and then from the top you can choose your graphic settings depending on your computer, of course, and what you want to have enabled or not. You can also click here, optimize settings for memory, for performance, or for quality. That is just your personal stuff that you have to select. Then here in camera, I usually like to turn off camera shake and camera bobbing, because it's quite annoying, I think, when you warp around and your whole screen is shaking. So I usually turn those off. In audio you can also change all your different music levels, volume levels I mean. I usually have the music level completely off, because for the videos it's not nice if you have two musics playing at the same time. So you also have the advanced settings if you want to have something especially high or especially low. And yeah, that's also personal. Then in user interface, there are a few useful things. For example, enable window blur. You can turn this off, so you cannot see through your windows anymore, which I think is quite annoying. So I also like to turn that off. You can still, then here, turn the transparency up a bit, so you can still see a bit through them, but not as much as before. And I usually have that around like here. And then this is also quite important, enable compact mode by default, which is quite good because it gives you lots more space to work with, because the new UI has a few places where the space is not very optimized. So if you enable compact mode, it is a bit more compact. And then here you can select a color pattern for your things. Doesn't really matter which one you take, it's just personal again, what you prefer. I take the Mimitar one because I like the red-orange theme. And then here in gameplay, auto target back should always be off, because that can lead to some annoying situations with accidental AWOXing and stuff, so turn that off. And open Radial menu, I usually have that on left mouse button, and you can also change the delay from none to long depending on what you prefer. I usually have it quite short because I like to have it react very fast. Emergency warp, I'm not sure what it is. Gathered in edges, positioned in space, I'm not sure what that is either. I just ignore them. Classic star map, you can use the classic star map of course, but it doesn't really matter. In low sec and LSec the map is more used, so you maybe prefer the classic star map, but in low sec it's not super important because you usually fly around with the factional warfare map anyway. And then auto reject invitations for chat and auto reject invitations for dueling. You can ignore those or turn them off, that's again personal preferences. Same with the shortcuts, you have all the shortcuts that you can set. So if you double click on this and then you press the shortcut you like, it changes to whatever you like. C is already used for combat track. Do you want to reassign it? No. But like that you can change all the shortcuts for all the different things, which is quite good. Sometimes there are PCs that don't accept the F keys for commands in game, and they then spit you out of the game and show you something on your desktop, which of course you don't want, and then you can change it to the number keys 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of F1, F2, F3, F4. But you have to see that for yourself. And then here you have the reset settings. If you did something wrong, you can reset it here. And language, of course. And that's pretty much all there is about the settings. So I say we undock, just for a first look outside. Here we are in space. I immediately stop my ship so I don't drift off. By reflex ID scanned, sorry. So here in space you see that auto toggle is on, so everything I click my camera automatically looks at, which is super annoying. And then here you can auto toggle, turn it off with Shift C, and now it is off and you can select everything without it messing you up. So you can select where you want your camera to face. There is an unmanned Venator out here. Let me still
Docking permission requested. Docking
you also
request
saw this is the
accepted.
radial menu I talked about, and you can experiment a bit with it, see if you like the delay and how quick it works. So for me the delay is already quite good with the radial menu. Make it just a bit longer. There is, like this, it should work. Yeah, that's better. Out here in space you can also start moving around your windows. I'm actually seeing that the chat windows and stuff are still transparent, so I'm gonna check the settings again. Okay, curious. Okay. Like this it works, yeah. Okay, so you also have to turn down the light mode transparency to a bit lower so you can't see through the chat anymore, because I think it's super annoying. Like this you can barely read what's getting said. It's very difficult, and so I like to turn that completely off, like this. Now everything is quite visible. So now that you're in space, you should start setting up your UI how you like it. I'm just gonna do it real quick for how I like it myself. What is very important is that you have your local always separated from your other chat channels, because you always want to see who's in local, especially in PvP. So, like this. And then I'm gonna undock again. I'm also gonna form a fleet with myself soon, just to get all the stuff in the right positions. If you want to get your D scan, which is also super important, you can press the key combination on your keyboard, Alt D. This opens up this big window, which is your star map and your D scan combined. And then if you click on this little thing, you get open separate window, and you have your D scan free from your star map, and you can also put that wherever you like it. This is of course super important, and I'm gonna do probably another whole video just on explaining how to descan correctly, but it basically shows you everyone around, and probes, and stations, and gates, so you know if you're safe or not. Let me form a fleet with myself. This is the fleet window, especially important if you're FCing, and if you don't want the chat thing to be as big, you can also drag it down here and change the size of it to have some more spare space. You usually like to have it on half of the standard. And here I am leaving some space because I can't show you that right now, but if you have a fleet and you want to have someone on your watch list, that is another window that I like to have here next to my local and my overview. Then another setting is the setting that you can get by pressing Alt P, and again opens your star map with the probe scanner up here, which is the thing I want. I'm again making it separate from the star map, closing the star map. This is the window where you see all the anomalies and things in system. And I also like to have that up here so I can see the sites in Factional Warfare, and for example mining sites if I want to do mining, or the anomalies here if I want to kill some NPCs. So I like to have this up here. And again, this is just my personal preference. You have to put it wherever you like it, but I'm just gonna do it how I usually have it, so I am used to working on this UI. So in social, I have contacts. Gonna open that and drag it on here. And this is another cool thing you can do. If you drag the window and you drag it over here, you see the bar getting orange. This means that you can link those two windows, and now I have them both linked, and I can switch between them. These are windows that I don't usually need so often, and I usually have my locations open and the contacts in case I need it, I have it opened. The next thing I want to talk about is over here the Neocom and what you would like to have in there. Ah, right, that's the window I forgot. My inventory. I have my inventory always opened, because if I want to scoop loot, I want to be quick with it. So I have that here. Like this. So if I open up a rack, I can immediately press enter or loot all and get all the stuff without having a window in the middle of my screen disrupting me. Eve help, I usually don't need that, just opens this window that you can also open with F12. So I'm usually just removing that. And then project discovery and the map. So this is like I usually have my stuff. You can also make the Neocom menu a bit smaller if you don't like it as big, or if you like it bigger. I usually have it around this size. And of course down here you have your daily login, the new Eden store, and the unclaimed items. And then here in the activities, opportunities is already added, air career program as well, agency as well, map as well. The only thing that is missing is the factional warfare, which I like to have down here as well. So you just click on it, drag and drop, and pull it down here. And I like to have that below my map, just to have the factional warfare window open quickly. I'm not using the insurgency map, even though I am in the Guerillas militia with my main, because I think it's quite confusing and not really clear and easy to use, so I'm usually just avoiding that. So then finance. Market I have, market orders I don't need, wallet I have, contracts I don't need, Hypernet is gambling, so I don't need it, multi-buy I usually also don't need, industry I'm not interested in industry, so I don't need those as shortcuts, Inventory and personal assets I already have. And here it gets interesting. I like to have my fitting management here below my fittings, because here is where you have all the fits that you ever saved in a list. So I want to have quick access to that. So if I would create a fit here and then put any module in there, and then you can save it. And if you open up your fitting window, you have here Destroyer, Person Navy issue, the fit you saved. I'm gonna delete that again because I don't need it. And this little button is also quite useful everywhere because it closes all the tabs again. So it's quite nice again if you have all these things opened up and you can't find what you need. You can just boom, close it all again, which is super useful. So yeah, that's for ship fitting management, social, contact, chat channels, fleet, mail, corporation. Corporation I usually have down here because I'm CO on my main, but that's not super needed if you're not part of Corp or not CO of a Corp. Paragon, the ship scanner, if I'm bored I like to work on that, so I have it down here. Utilities, yeah, here it gets interesting. I like to have the notepad here because there you can make notes and write down. You can also say fits in there and all that useful stuff. I also like to have the calculator down here. And structure browser is useful, so I also add that. And I also like to have the pointer window because in there you can find these really nice links that you can then send in a chat channel to show people how they can find something. So if you want to help people out and show them how to find something, like for example the dock button for right now. If I click on that, it shows me where I find the dock button. So I like to have that opened. And now you see it is in a smaller list now, so I'm just gonna size it down a bit. So I have a perfect list now from top to bottom filled with all the useful stuff. And yeah, now you see I already got an unclaimed reward here, which is because I sent a message in chat. So if I claim that, I get here in my unclaimed items, I get some ISK, and those I can redeem, so 25,000 ISK richer. So that is the Neocom menu and the UI covered, and I think that's already gonna do it for this video. Then in the next video I'm gonna talk about skills, skill plans, skill points and how to get them quickly. And maybe if there's time left I can talk about some fits to start in PvP. But before I leave, I want to say that you can already check out my my biography of Frigates on Fire character, because I will add the skill plan basics into my biography, and you can start skilling that, so you don't waste any skill time, and you can already start with the basic skills. It's just a skill plan I put together. It takes quite long, but in the next video I'm gonna show you how you can shorten this plan. And you can get started with some of the basic skills that you will need in every situation. You can also go open the agency, go to Agents and Missions, Career Agents, and there should be career agents very close to you once you are done with the tutorial. And you can start doing the career missions. These are quite easy missions that explain to you a bit the basic of the game and how everything works. So if you're really new, you should do this. And even if you're not so new, you can get free ships and lots of ISK from them. Starter cash about 10 to 15 million, which is quite a lot when you just got started. Okay, that's all the information I have in this video. But yeah, as I said in the intro, more coming soon, especially about which skills you should train first as an alpha, because you are limited to those 5 million, and it's quite important. You choose the correct things and don't waste skill points on useless stuff. And yeah, don't forget to participate in the giveaway if your character is young enough, and yeah, as always, have a good day, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.